Number 1. Surprising facts about the name Land of the Rising Sun. Japan is called the Land of the Rising Sun, but in reality, the first place in the world to see the sunrise is the island nation of Kiribati in the Pacific Ocean, which has the earliest time zone on Earth. From ancient times, the Japanese were well aware that their country was located at the easternmost point of Asia, where the first light of day reached them before other nations. From then on, they named their homeland Nihon, or Nippon, which means origin of the sun. This name was officially used from the 7th century, a period when Japan began to form its own identity and gradually reduced Chinese influence. As an archipelago nation spanning nearly 3,000 kilometers, Japan boasts over 6,800 islands with a total area of approximately 380,000 kilometers squared, equivalent to the U.S. state of California. The 4 main islands, Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku, account for up to 97% of the territory, while many other small islands like Okinotorishima and Minami Torishima play a strategic role in expanding Japan's exclusive economic zone at sea. Located within the Ring of Fire, Japan is one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world, particularly for earthquakes. On average, there are over 1,500 earthquakes each year, with the 2011 Tohoku earthquake considered the most serious disaster in modern history. With a magnitude of 9.0 on the Richter scale, it generated tsunamis up to 40 meters high, destroying numerous coastal towns and causing a nuclear accident at Fukushima. This disaster not only claimed 20,000 lives, but also changed national energy policy. With a population of 125 million, Japan is currently ranked 11th in the world, with the Tokyo area having over 41 million people, the largest on the planet. However, the country is entering a phase of super-aging, with nearly 30% of the population over 65 years old, while the birth rate is among the lowest globally. According to the Japan Pet Food Association, there are as many as 20 million dogs and cats kept as pets in the country, exceeding the number of children under 15, which is only about 17 million. The Japanese government is currently implementing a series of policies to encourage childbirth, but the results are still not promising. Ironically, the Land of the Rising Sun is not the first place the sun rises. If you find this interesting, leave a comment with the number 1. Number 2. Actions that will make you seem rude in Japan. In Japan, intimate gestures like hugging or shaking hands, which are common social expressions in the West, are considered serious violations of personal space. The Japanese are particularly careful about touching others upon first meeting, as they consider it a way to show humility and save face for both parties. Instead of shaking hands, they bow, and at high-level meetings, the depth of the bow can be very specifically prescribed, often 15, 30, or 45 degrees depending on the relationship. If you are a foreigner, wait for them to initiate first so you don't accidentally cause any awkwardness. Silence in public spaces is also part of Japan's culture of social order. On the subway during rush hour, even with hundreds of people crammed together, you can still clearly hear the sound of pages turning or the announcements about the arriving train. The Japanese believe that remaining silent is a way of respecting others' right to rest. Therefore, a phone call or a loud laugh is considered lacking in refinement. Japanese dining tables also have strict rules. Sticking chopsticks straight into a bowl of rice is absolutely forbidden, as this is an action used in funerals. When they finish eating, they place their chopsticks parallel or on a chopstick rest to show politeness. Many traditional restaurants in Kyoto also prepare small guides for foreign tourists to avoid cultural faux pas while dining. Another courtesy is not to pour your own drinks. In Japanese culture, pouring sake for others is not only good manners, but also a way to show connection. The Japanese believe that if someone pours their own drink, they are unintentionally cutting off the social thread at the dinner table. Tattoos, even though they are just art, are still a sensitive topic. The Japanese associate it with the Yakuza, the criminal organization that flourished in the 20th century. Therefore, many onsen and public baths have signs that say, "No tattoos allowed." However, in recent years, some tourist destinations like Okinawa and Hokkaido have begun to relax their regulations, accepting visitors with small tattoos if they are covered with a sticker. Number 3. Strange beauty standards in Japan. Japanese women have long been considered symbols of refined and standard beauty. They stand out with their fair skin, petite figures, modest clothing, and gentle demeanor. Whether in bustling Tokyo or historic Kyoto, the image of Japanese women always exudes elegance and confidence. They love minimalist fashion, prefer subtlety over ostentation, and still maintain their love for the kimono, a symbol of the intersection between tradition and modernity. Recently, the social media platform X, Twitter, exploded with a photo of Saori Araki wearing office attire and making an adorable puffed cheek expression. In just 1 week, the photo reached 76 million views, helping her gain over 120,000 followers. She was quickly dubbed the kawaii phenomenon of 2025, proving that natural and pure beauty still holds timeless appeal, even in an era of widespread artificial aesthetics. However, few people know that the standard of beauty in Japan used to be very different. During the Edo period, women only bathed a few times a week because they believed that bathing too often would dry out their skin and hair. They use rice flour and camellia oil for cleaning. There was even a time when armpit hair was considered a symbol of femininity and charm. It wasn't until Western culture was introduced that the criteria of clean, fragrant, and smooth became a widespread standard. Today, Japanese women are not only beautiful but also independent and strong. In Tokyo or Osaka, the image of women over 30 living alone, being financially independent, and pursuing their personal passions has become common. They don't see marriage as an obligation, but as a choice. Many women have achieved success in technology, art, and tourism, becoming role models for Japan's free women generation. Another trend is that more and more Japanese women are marrying foreigners. It's not about material things, but because they find romance and understanding, something Japanese men often lack. According to the Japanese Ministry of Justice, over 300,000 Japanese women marry foreigners each year, and many of these love stories have become sources of inspiration in contemporary film and literature. If you want to know how to win over these lovely and delicate Japanese girls, leave a comment with the number 2. Number 3. Strange beauty standards in Japan. Number 4. The country of anime and adult films. In World War II, Japan, along with Germany and Italy, was a pillar of the Axis powers, but they ultimately fell before the strength of the Allied forces. When the war ended, the country was exhausted. Over 40% of urban areas were destroyed, 3 million people had died, industrial output was only 1/10 of pre-war levels, and inflation had increased 70-fold in 3 years. Japan no longer has goods to export, and the economy is almost paralyzed. Many people at that time had to exchange gold and household goods to buy food, and paper money depreciated so quickly that a morning's salary was worthless by the afternoon. From ruins, Japan has miraculously been reborn. During the period 1955-1980, the economy grew by an average of over 9% per year, ushering in the miracle growth era. The reforms bearing the mark of Shigeru Yoshida and Eisaku Sato steered Japan toward becoming the factory of Asia. In just 3 decades, Japan rose to become the world's second-largest economy. Corporations like Toyota, Sony, Toshiba, and Mitsubishi became global icons, contributing to the shaping of the industrial world. In fact, by the late 1980s, the Japanese were saying that the land price of the Tokyo Imperial Palace could buy the entire United States, a testament to the massive asset bubble of that era. Today, Japan is the 4th largest economy in the world, after the United States, China, and Germany. The standard of living for the population is among the highest in Asia, but society faces unique demographic challenges and entertainment needs. Japan's adult film industry generates over $5 billion annually, accounting for 20% of global revenue. The government doesn't ban it, but allows it to operate legally, hoping to encourage childbirth. Yet the birth rate remains only 1.2 children per woman. Despite this, the industry has become a significant part of Japan's cultural exports, legally distributed in over 60 countries. Alongside its economic prowess, Japan also leads in cultural exports. Anime accounts for approximately 60% of all global animated films and generates over $5 billion annually. Works like Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Demon Slayer are not only popular worldwide, but have also shaped popular culture. Many schools in the US and Europe now have anime clubs, where students learn Japanese language and culture through animation, an effective form of soft power diplomacy for Tokyo. Number 5. A society silent to the point of loneliness. The Japanese have long been considered a symbol of politeness and a standard of excellence. However, the friendliness that tourists experience in Japan primarily occurs in a social context. A slight smile, a bow, or a polite greeting doesn't necessarily reflect true feelings. In Japanese culture, the distinction between tateme and han is considered a necessary boundary for maintaining social harmony, saying what is appropriate rather than what one thinks. Daily life in Japan is enveloped in tranquility. People limit noise, enter and exit their homes quietly, and rarely disturb their neighbors. Even within the family, direct expressions of affection are not common. According to a 2023 survey, over 45% of adults said they felt disconnected from their loved ones. Children are taught independence from a very young age, and when they grow up, they often live separately. As a result, more and more elderly people are living alone, leading to the phenomenon of kodokushi, a social problem so serious that the Tokyo government had to establish a unit specifically to handle cases of death in isolation. Privacy culture in Japan is considered the foundation of order. Everyone has their own boundaries, even in close relationships. This helps society function stably, but also makes people quieter. On weekends, you might see families gathering under the trees in the park, but you rarely hear cheers or loud laughter. Many people say that this quietness is how the Japanese show respect for others, even in moments of joy. The Japanese also have a special concept of social ethics. They don't need anyone to acknowledge them to do good. Bowing, cleaning up trash, or helping others are things that must be done out of responsibility, not emotion. For them, kindness doesn't need to be spoken, it just needs to be shown at the right time and in the right way. Perhaps it is this very self-discipline that has helped Japan become one of the safest, cleanest, and most reliable societies in the world. Number 6. Bizarre but completely legal services in Japan. In Japan, there exists a special industry called emotional surrogate services, where people pay to purchase emotional experiences they lack in real life. These services may sound like science fiction, but they are a real part of modern Japanese urban society. The most popular service is renting relatives. In Tokyo or Osaka, there are dozens of companies specializing in providing family actors who play the roles of lovers, parents, or children for special occasions such as weddings, graduations, or company gatherings. Each profile has specific photos, ages, and personalities for customers to choose from. The cost can range from a few hundred to several $1,000s, and some companies even offer a rent-a-boyfriend or girlfriend art service, where the two people go sightseeing, take photos, and post on social media as if they were a real couple. For those experiencing prolonged stress, a stress relief room is a place where they are allowed to smash things to let off steam. Guests will be given protective gear, iron bars or hammers, and can break old TVs, printers, or bottles in a soundproof space. Some places even offer a smash things to your favorite song package, helping customers release their emotions to the rhythm of the music. The price ranges from $50 to $20, and many people consider this a safer form of therapy than seeing a therapist. On the contrary, a hug cafe brings a sense of peace. Customers pay $50 per hour to sit next to, hold hands with, or lean on a stranger in absolute silence. This service has no sexual element. It is considered healing touch therapy, which helps lonely people feel more connected in a cold society. Additionally, Japan offers other unusual services, such as hiring someone to apologize on your behalf, hiring someone to sit next to you in a movie theater, or hiring a professional mourner at funerals to add a touch of solemnity. Although strange, these services are all legal, have detailed contracts, and are even officially supervised by professional associations. Number 7. Japan and the secret behind sensitive vending machines. Japan has long been considered a model of a nation that is both modern and disciplined, and that begins with its education system. According to the 2023 PISA report, Japanese students ranked third in the world for mathematics, science, and reading comprehension, surpassing both the UK and the US. Meanwhile, the World Top 20 ranking for the same year also placed Japan among the top 3 countries with the most effective education systems. Interestingly, Japan achieved this despite spending only about 3.2% of its GDP on education, significantly less than the OECD average, demonstrating superior investment efficiency. The philosophy of Japanese education focuses on character development before knowledge acquisition. Elementary school children are not forced to take extra classes or undergo rigorous testing. Instead, they are taught about etiquette, the spirit of cooperation, and community responsibility. In many cases, students even clean their classrooms and serve each other lunch as part of the curriculum, a teaching method that instills discipline and humility. Thanks to this, the Japanese grow up with a spirit of respect for the collective and a strong sense of social responsibility, creating a rare culture of order. Beyond education, Japan also impresses with its automatic culture, a symbol of convenience and service spirit. The country has over 4 million vending machines, an average of one machine for every 30 people. They sell all sorts of products, from drinks, hot coffee, and fast food to batteries, umbrellas, face masks, and even fresh flowers. However, only about 0.3% of those offer adult products that are completely sealed. Some machines are even equipped with AI cameras to determine age and suggest suitable products, demonstrating how Japan combines technology with social management. To ensure the national image, local governments like Tokyo and Kyoto have implemented the clean zone model, where vending machines must have age recognition sensors and comply with public advertising regulations. Thanks to this, Japan's automated culture still maintains its civilization, neatness, and safety, true to the spirit of precision that is the hallmark of this country. Number 8. A rare nation that dares to apologize for its history. Throughout history, Japan has been almost the only country in Asia that has never been completely colonized. For centuries, they maintained a policy of isolation, separating themselves from the world to protect their identity and feudal power. In 1853, the American fleet commanded by Admiral Matthew Perry appeared in Edo Bay, forcing Japan to open its ports to trade, an event that marked the beginning of the Meiji Restoration. This reform transformed Japan from an agricultural nation into an industrial and military powerhouse. In just a few decades, the country transformed faster than any other nation of the time. In 1905, the victory over the Russian Empire astonished the world, as it was the first time an Asian nation had defeated a European superpower. In the early 20th century, Japan became the only Asian power capable of competing with the West. The Japanese Empire expanded its influence throughout East Asia, occupying Korea, Taiwan, Indochina, and a large part of China. Alongside this ambition came severe consequences. The 1945 famine in Vietnam killed approximately 2 million people. Tens of thousands of Korean women were forced into the comfort women system, and the 1937 Nanjing massacre claimed over 300,000 lives. Many documents record that in just 6 weeks, Japanese soldiers murdered hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians. After the war, Japan chose to confront its past through practical actions. Since the 1990s, the Japanese government has officially acknowledged its responsibility for the comfort women system and sent an apology to the victims. In 1995, the Asian Women's Fund was established, supporting over 300 victims in South Korea, the Philippines, and Taiwan. Each person received $5,000, along with an apology letter from the Prime Minister. Additionally, Japan is promoting development aid and cultural exchange programs as a way to heal the region. While not every country accepts apologies, it's undeniable that Japan is one of the few nations that dares to look directly at its past, acknowledge its mistakes, and make amends through actions, not just words. Number 9. Places no one dares to set foot in. In Tochigi Prefecture, near the Nasu Hot Springs, there is a place that even the Japanese find chilling: the Killing Stone, Seishoseki. The dark rock sits amidst sulfur-covered land, with heat and a slight release of toxic gases year-round. Tourists walk along the stone-paved path leading up the hill, where the "Do Not Touch the Rocks" sign is placed amidst a gray and white landscape filled with the smell of minerals. The closer you get, the more the stone block exudes a strange coldness, as if it possesses its own energy. According to legend, Seishoseki is the place where the soul of Tamamo no Mae, the nine-tailed fox who once disguised herself as a beautiful woman to seduce the emperor, is imprisoned. When punished, she turned to stone, leaving a curse that anyone who touched her would meet with misfortune. However, in March 2022, the Japanese people were shocked when the boulder split in two on its own, despite there being no earthquake. Some people even recorded videos of thin smoke rising from the crack, leading to social media rumors that the fox spirit has escaped. Geologists offer a scientific explanation: thermal expansion and long-term rainwater exposure caused the rocks to crack. But the cuts are so even and clean that many people are skeptical. Notably, a few days before that, wildlife cameras around the area recorded a sudden disappearance of wild animals, with not a single bird appearing. This event turned Seisho Seki into a nationwide topic, where the Japanese were both fearful and curious, believing that some things are best left untouched. Over 300 kilometers away, in Kyoto, the ancient Zuihoin temple within the Daitoku-ji complex holds a more philosophical mystery. The small Zen garden, with only white sand and a few stones, but as the sunlight changed, the shadows shifted, even tilting to one side at noon. Some experts believe that the illusion is caused by light reflecting off the walls and white sand, but photos taken at the same time still yield different results. Some photographers even claim the shadows change even when they stand still, as if the garden is breathing. Number 10. Japan after midnight. As night fell and the last train rolled out of the station, Japan seemed to awaken once more. Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Fukuoka are bathed in a new light, where the sounds of vending machines mingle with the saxophone melodies from small alleyway bars. For the Japanese, night is a second space, a time for them to escape the industrial pace of life and rediscover themselves. Whether it's just a few glasses of sake at an izakaya or a stroll under the lantern lights, a Japanese night always evokes a sense of peace and connection. The nightlife here is a complete ecosystem. 24/7 karaoke serves as a mental boost for office workers. Theme bars, from anime and vintage whiskey to jazz music, add a unique flavor to each neighborhood. Shibuya and Roppongi are party hubs where international DJs perform until dawn, while Kyoto and Kanazawa enchant with no theater, koto music, and traditional light displays. In Osaka, streets like Dotonbori are ablaze with LED signs, and the aroma of hot takoyaki fills the air, a symbol of simple post-work joy. Strolling through Japan at night is an unforgettable experience. The vibrant signs, the sound of the streetcars, and the aroma of yakitori blend into a unique urban symphony. In Kyoto, the Gion lantern lights reflect off the stone pavement, where visitors can catch a glimpse of geisha shadows that seem to step out of the past. In Tokyo, Harajuku, Ikebukuro, and Akihabara are still bustling late into the night, yet they are orderly, because even amidst the cacophony of sounds and lights, the Japanese still adhere to the rules of not pushing and not littering. For photography enthusiasts, Japan at night is a visual feast. Shinjuku with its neon forests, Fushimi Inari glowing in the light of lanterns, and the Tokyo Sky Tree reflecting against the clear night sky. When the Tanabata festival season arrives, the streets are filled with wish papers, fireworks bloom against the backdrop of traditional music, a moment that is unforgettable for anyone who has witnessed it. Number 11. Festivals that captivate tourists. Japan is known as the land of festivals, where each season has its own unique character. Spring begins with Hanami, the cherry blossom viewing festival, a symbol of the fleeting beauty of human life. From the end of March, the cherry trees in Ueno Park, Maruyama, or along the Meguro River bloom profusely. People and their friends spread out mats under the cherry blossoms, sipped sake, sang, and watched the petals fall. In Tokyo, many companies even let employees leave early on the first day of cherry blossoms so everyone can go Hanami together. In summer, Kyoto comes alive with the Gion Matsuri Festival, an event with a history spanning over 100 years. Throughout July, Yamaboko floats, towering tens of meters high, parade through the city center to the lively sounds of taiko drums and flutes. Local people believe that just touching the palanquin will bring good luck for the whole year. The festival, which began as an exorcism and prayer ritual, has now become an intangible cultural heritage recognized by UNESCO, attracting millions of visitors each year. At the end of July, the Tokyo sky once again bursts with light during the Sumida River Fireworks Festival. Over 20,000 fireworks were launched into the sky, reflecting onto the river below, creating a dazzling spectacle. The Japanese call this the art of the moment, because each firework represents a wish for peace. Many couples choose the moment of fireworks blooming to confess their love or propose, a rare romantic tradition in this reserved country. As September arrives, the Kishiwada Danjiri Festival in Osaka brings the whole city to life. These multi-ton wooden carts were pulled at high speeds through narrow streets, requiring perfect coordination and a spirit of bravery. A wrong turn can cause an accident, but it's also what makes the festival a source of pride and a testament to the courage of the people of Kansai. When winter arrives, white snow covers Hokkaido, and the Sapporo Snow Festival transforms Odori Park into a world of ice art. Hundreds of giant snow sculptures depicting European castles, anime characters, or Japanese cultural icons are illuminated by a brilliant LED system. This festival began in 1950, initiated by local high school students, and has since become one of the largest winter events in the world. Visitors can ski, enjoy Sapporo miso ramen, and admire fireworks against a backdrop of white snow, ending the year with a beauty that is both majestic and peaceful. Number 12. Unmissable places in Japan. Fushimi Inari in Kyoto is considered the spiritual heart of the Japanese people, with thousands of pilgrims visiting each year to seek good fortune. With over 10,000 vibrant red torii gates running along the mountainside, this place is both sacred and one of the most photographed landscapes in the world. Each torii gate is donated by businesses or individuals, with the donor's name carved on the pillars. Many visitors say that when they pass through this row of gates, they feel a special energy, as if stepping through a threshold between two worlds. Early morning is the ideal time for hiking, when the sunlight streams through each gate frame, creating an ethereal band of light that bathes the stone path. A few hours by train from Kyoto, Lake Kawaguchi and Mount Fuji are considered the iconic couple of Japan. From the mirror-smooth surface of the lake, the snow-capped peaks that are white year-round are reflected in the water, creating a scene so perfect it seems to have been painted. During cherry blossom season, the lake is covered in pink hues, and in autumn, the red leaves transform the place into a completely different picture, serene, deep, and full of charm. Visitors can cycle around the lake, go boating, soak in the lakeside onsen, and watch Mount Fuji appear and disappear through the mist. To the south, Okinawa opens up a world full of sunshine and waves. Dubbed Japan's tropical paradise, it boasts turquoise beaches, rich coral reefs, and clear skies year-round. Emerald, Maeda, and Ishigaki are all among the top beaches in Asia. Besides snorkeling, visitors can also explore the ruins of Shurijo Castle, the center of the ancient Ryukyu Kingdom, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The culture here has a distinct Southeast Asian influence, evident in the folk music and seafood-rich cuisine. And if you want a unique experience, visit Jigokudani Valley in Nagano. In winter, when snow blankets the forest, a troop of snow monkeys leisurely bathes in hot springs, the steam rising to obscure the space. Biologists believe this habit helps them stay warm and reduce stress, a rare demonstration of the incredible adaptability of wildlife. Beside watching monkeys, visitors can stroll through the snowy forest, listen to the sounds of nature, and experience the unique tranquility that is only found in Japan. Number 13. The essence of Japanese cuisine. Embarking on a culinary journey through Japan, sushi is an absolute must-try, the quintessential symbol of the land of the rising sun. This dish embodies the philosophy of respecting the ingredients, where the chef must highlight the natural flavors of each slice of fish. The rice is cooked perfectly, mixed with rice vinegar, sugar, and salt, and then combined with fresh seafood like salmon, tuna, shrimp, or octopus. When lightly dipped in soy sauce and a touch of wasabi is added, the flavor is fully enhanced. The Japanese believe that a good piece of sushi is a harmony of freshness, balance, and delicacy. In Tokyo, omakase sushi restaurants might serve diners only a few pieces throughout the evening, as each dish is considered a work of art. Completely opposite to sushi is shirako, a dish that makes many Westerners hesitant. Shirako means white child, and is actually the testicles of male fish, usually cod or pufferfish. When steamed or lightly fried, shirako has a smooth, creamy texture and a rich, fatty flavor. Although considered a nutritious food rich in omega-3, the experience of enjoying shirako requires courage. In Hokkaido, this dish is also served cold with fresh lemon, creating a rich but not cloying sensation. It would be remiss to talk about Japan without mentioning ramen. This noodle dish is the soul of street food, loved from small stalls to high-end restaurants. The broth is simmered for hours from pork bones, chicken, or dried fish, and is served with chewy yellow noodles. Hakata ramen is famous for its rich and fatty tonkotsu broth. Tokyo ramen features a light soy sauce flavor, while Sapporo ramen is characterized by its fragrant miso. When eaten with a soft-boiled egg and melt-in-your-mouth chashu pork, Ramen becomes a dish that is both familiar and showcases the depth of Japanese culture. There are currently over 30,000 ramen shops operating across Japan, and people even hold an annual Ramen Expo to celebrate this dish. The journey concludes with takoyaki, the symbol of Osaka, the street food capital. The mixture of flour and dashi broth is baked in a round mold, with crispy octopus, green onions, and red ginger inside. When the cakes are golden, the vendor drizzles takoyaki sauce, mayonnaise, and sprinkles the fluttering dried bonito flakes. Interestingly, Japanese people often eat takoyaki while it's still piping hot, because they believe the best flavor comes from that burn but worth it moment. Number 14. Cost of accommodation and travel in Japan. If you plan to live in Japan long-term for study, work, or retirement, understanding the cost of living will help you prepare more proactively. Tokyo is Japan's largest economic center and is also among the most expensive cities in Asia. The rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center is typically $800 to $200 per month, but if you live in the suburbs 20 to 30 minutes by train, the cost can be nearly halved. Cities like Kyoto, Nagoya, or Fukuoka have a cost of living of USD 400 to 600 per month, which is suitable for those who prefer a peaceful life. Many suburbs also have small supermarkets and 24-hour convenience stores, making life more affordable while still being convenient enough. Public transportation in Japan is famous for its accuracy. Subway tickets cost $2.50 per ride, while monthly passes range from $70 to $20 depending on the route. The Shinkansen is expensive but fast and is often used for long-distance travel. Taxis are expensive, costing around $6 or $12 for a short distance. Many young people choose to rent bicycles or electric scooters by the hour, which is both economical and easy to get around in small neighborhoods. Regarding food, if you cook yourself, you'll spend around $250 to $350 USD per month when buying groceries at Aeon, Life, or Seiyu. Bento sold at convenience stores is only $3 to $5 USD. Ramen shops or casual restaurants cost $4 to $7 per meal, while mid-range restaurants are around $0 to $20. In the evening, many supermarkets heavily discount prepackaged food boxes, offering significant savings. Electricity, water, and gas typically cost $70 per month, and internet is $30 to $45. Some apartments have additional management or waste disposal fees ranging from $0 to $30. Japan has very strict waste classification regulations, requiring separation and disposal of waste on the correct day. Some residential areas even require the use of household name trash bags to increase community awareness. The total cost for a single person in Japan is usually $1,000 or $1,500 USD per month. If you live frugally, you can stay within $800, but if you travel often, eat out, or participate in cultural activities, the cost can easily exceed $800. Number 15. Helpful advice when traveling in Japan. Although Japan is known for its safety, crowded tourist areas still pose risks. Some people may pretend to be friendly locals, inviting tourists into restaurants or bars and then charging unusually high prices. The best way to avoid this is to check online reviews before entering a restaurant and only choose places with clear information. If you are being overly solicited, politely decline and leave immediately. Many tourists also say that the neighborhoods near the train station are the most likely places to encounter these scams. Japan has a very low crime rate, but it's not absolute. Petty theft, groping on trains, and late-night scams still occur, especially in Shinjuku, Kabukicho, and Dotonbori. Avoid walking alone in dark alleys, limit phone use when crossing the street, and keep your belongings in zippered bags. Some train lines have carriages reserved for women during peak hours to reduce the risk of harassment. When paying, not every place accepts international cards. Many small shops only accept cash, and sometimes fake card readers appear to steal data. Ideally, withdraw money from a 7-Eleven, Lawson, or Family Mart ATM. If possible, use contactless payment methods like Suica, Pasmo, or IC cards as they are fast, convenient, and widely accepted. Japanese weather changes dramatically between day and night, especially in spring and autumn. Temperature differences can make visitors more susceptible to catching a cold when traveling in the evening in Kyoto or Hakone. Please bring a light jacket, warm water, and basic cold medicine. Some mountainous areas are also experiencing thick fog, making late-night travel more difficult. In an emergency, the Japanese rescue number is 119, but not all hospitals have English-speaking doctors. You should save the addresses of international medical facilities such as the Tokyo Medical and Surgical Clinic or the Osaka Red Cross, and also install a translation app to assist with communication if needed. Preparing well will help you handle any unexpected situation calmly. And those are 15 interesting things about Japan. I hope you found a different perspective on the land of the rising sun. If you find the video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to not miss the next journeys. Of the 15 points just mentioned, which one impressed you the most? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.